So Diane, tell us about, I know that we've been promoting an event that you've got coming up, which is a huge fundraiser for the Muroc Family Education Center on Aging. Tell us just a little bit more, because the event hasn't quite arrived, about the Hanging Out in the Hangar.
Right, it's Saturday, May the 14th, coming up, and it's at 5 p.m. We are going to have pulled pork for dinner.
Oh yes, let's always get to the food.
Yes,
that draws
I think the food's
everybody
the most
in.
important part.
Food and fun.
Yes, pulled pork and baked beans and coleslaw.
Ooh,
and just
like the
all
first
the picnic food.
Picnic of the season.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. We're praying for nice weather.
Oh, I bet you'll get it.
So, but it is out at the hangar in Midway, one of the hangars out there, and they're so kind to let us use that as a venue.
They are, and it's so much fun.
It is.
It just has yes, it's a hangar with a chandelier, which was always really interesting.
That's unique.
yeah, it's very unique. But it's just a fun environment to be in, very different from your inside four walls, and just a lot of fun. So I guess what I wanted to be sure that people knew, can they get tickets at the door?
They can, yes.
Okay.
The tickets are going to be sold at the door for $25 each,
Okay.
which that will be for the dinner. That includes the dinner. And then we have a silent auction going on.
Oh, those are always fun.
Yeah. And we're going to have something new this year. We're going to do a cakewalk.
Oh, how fun.
So
that
I
is
think
a real
that'd be
picnic
fun.
then.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a real old-time fashion picnic.
Definitely. We've had a lot of ladies volunteer to bake us some wonderful cakes.
Ooh.
So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have a lot of door prizes. Lots of door prizes.
And all that's included in the
It's
price
included,
of the ticket?
yes.
All right.
So then we have some special entertainment planned.
I've been
Two
hearing
big
about
things.
this.
Yeah. The first one, I think a lot of people are familiar with Jerry Hopper.
Oh, very much so.
So he's going to be our main entertainment for the evening.
Oh, that will be wonderful.
Yeah.
It's worth the price of the ticket right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just to sit down,
Absolutely.
eat some great food, and enjoy listening to Jerry.
Yep. And then we will also have a musical debut by the Medical Mavericks.
This
a
will
lot
be
of-
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery around that one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't, there's not a lot to say about it except that your doctor may have a hidden talent
Oh,
that you didn't know about.
that you just didn't know about. But
Right.
boy, you sure could find out Saturday night, May 14th.
That's right.
All right.
Yes.
Well, what else is going on over at the Muroc Family Education Center on Aging? You're always adding new things.
Yeah,
What
we
have you
lots
added
of-
now?
We have lots of fun stuff coming up in June. We have a physical therapist coming in June, on June 15th. It's a noon program. It's a lunch and learn. Her name is Joyce Yarbrough. She is a physical therapist at our Bone and Joint Clinic,
Okay.
BMC Bone and Joint Clinic. She's going to talk to us about slips, trips, and falls.
Ah,
So,
that's when Dr. Moore gets to see a lot of the folks after
Yes,
they've slipped.
yes.
Yeah,
so she's going to be talking about how to prevent
great.
those falls, how to, in your house, to go around your house and get rid of some of those throw rugs, things like that.
Yep.
And I've heard Joyce before. She's a great speaker.
Very motivational.
Very, yes,
Yeah.
and very informative. And she gives people an opportunity to ask questions, and she does a great job answering them.
Good.
So we've got that coming up, and then June the 21st at 1 o'clock, we have another program going on. Jamie Maines from our wound clinic is going
Yes.
to come over and talk to us about chronic wound care management. And she's going to be able to tell us a little bit more about the clinic over there and what they have to offer. For
With the hyperbaric chambers.
Yes.
And yeah, Jamie's so knowledgeable. She's the director there and does such an awesome job, she and her staff. And they've had such incredible results with patients. Patients who've had wounds for decades that they've had great success with using the hyperbaric chambers in particular.
I think it's
So,
going to be a great
Yeah,
program.
that would be really interesting for people to learn more.
So she's going to talk a little bit about when it's time to come to them
Mhm.
and see them, and what you can do at home for your wounds, wound care.
Wonderful.
So that'd be a good program. And then at the end of the month, June 29th at 1 o'clock, I have, she's a social worker at the hospital, Misty. She's going to come over and talk to us about organ donation. There's a lot of myths out there, and she's going to kind of get rid of some of
Dispel
those myths.
some of those
dispel
myths.
some of those
That's
myths.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't realize that they are qualified to be organ donors.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to talk about that, and then also how to go about becoming an organ donor,
Right.
and how to communicate that to your family. So
Wonderful.
lots of great programs.
Yeah, those are great programs.
Mhm.
So, what's one of the newer ones that you've started? What's
Well-
all this stuff I'm hearing about boxing?
Boxing, yeah. Well, the first time I heard about this boxing therapy was back in November of this past year, and just before the holidays, someone had brought it to my attention, and it's for Parkinson's disease. And usually you'd think boxing is what causes
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
yeah.
But we're taking boxing back, and we're using it to help Parkinson's patients. And it's actually a non-contact boxing.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Much more sense now.
We're only going to be punching bags and mannequins. We're not going to be punching people.
This is good.
Yes. But they have been doing a lot of studies on this therapy, and they're finding out that it is actually helping patients with Parkinson's either slow down the progression or even help them get a little bit better.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
So,
So this is a nationwide program.
it is. Well, it's actually international now. It's gone
Oh.
international. There's Australia. There's some different other countries that are utilizing this program. It's called Rock Steady Boxing, and it started in Indianapolis in 2009, and it was started by a prosecutor, an attorney there in Indianapolis, that he had Parkinson's disease. And a buddy of his said, hey, come do some exercise with me. And they started boxing, and he started to notice some difference in his progression of his of his symptoms. And the doctor was actually able to reduce his medication a little bit
Oh, my
because
goodness.
the exercise was helping him.
Yeah.
So that inspired him, and he got in touch with some people that he knew that were former boxers, and so we need to do this. So he got it going, and now, I mean, they had no idea how it would
The
catch
impact it
on.
would have. Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a maybe a non-traditional approach, but in so many ways it makes sense. And you were kind enough to bring some information about this Rock Steady Boxing.
Yeah.
And okay, I like your first question. Am I too old to participate?
Yeah, no, actually no one is, because Rock Steady Boxing is designed to be tailored to fit an individual's needs. Whether you're in a wheelchair or you've progressed to a wheelchair or a walker or a cane, we'll
Okay.
work with you.
Wonderful. There's a way to strengthen your body using this program, no
Right.
matter what condition your body is with Parkinson's at this time.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Oh, and then that was one of your other questions. My Parkinson's has progressed too far to benefit.
Yeah, it's not true. It
Not true.
will
It's-
benefit.
It
yes.
will okay.
Even just doing something with other people that are struggling with the Parkinson's is going to be an encouragement, and knowing that you're not alone with it. It's a good support group, but they have seen people with that are in the wheelchairs or walking with canes. They're seeing improvements.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. Let's see.
We are trying to keep this convenient for people in all stages. We have 4 different levels of participation. The first 2 levels of participation for Parkinson's patients it's typically going to be people that are still working. They maybe have not told their employer that they have Parkinson's for different. There's
Sure.
a lot of different reasons.
There's a lot of stigmatism
Yeah.
that accompanies almost any chronic disease.
Yeah, and so we're planning the classes in the morning for those participants, and they're 90-minute classes, and we are encouraging people to participate in it 3 days a week. So it is a huge commitment.
Yeah.
But
What a difference it could make to your quality of life.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, and then we will have afternoon classes for our participants that are not working, and they're in our what we call the level 3 and 4 stages of Parkinson's.
More advanced.
More advanced, they've been falling, experiencing falls, so they're going to get a little bit more individual attention right there in the class, one-on-one attention, just to make sure they're safe and that they're not experiencing any pain as they're exercising. So that's really, you know, going to be a benefit, you know, for these people to have someone in their corner with them while they're exercising.
Literally, yeah, literally. And before we go any further on this, where is this going to be held?
We actually are over at the athletic club. They have an extra building over there, and we are renting from them over there. We have our equipment set up, getting it ready to go.
Wonderful,
So,
wonderful. We need to talk about this more, but we need to take a short commercial break. Don't go away. Come back and learn more about the Rock Steady Boxing Program.